Hello everyone, today we're going to do some Pilates using the pole as a prop, a support, a guide, or an object of focus for some of our Pilates exercises. Let's begin by getting our alignment. Place your feet in hip width position and make sure that you feel nice and grounded on the floor. Knees are straight but not locked back hard. Pelvis is centered. Shoulders are relaxed, spine is long, and ears are in line with the shoulders. We're going to take a nice deep breath in through the nose, and we're going to allow it to gently sigh out of the mouth, relaxing the jaw in the process. A bit hard for me to relax my jaw where I'm talking all the way through. We're going to take another deep breath in, and as we exhale, we're going to actually bring this up. Now it's going to seem counterintuitive to inhale down and exhale up, but there's a reason for this. And what we want to do is keep our shoulder girdle intact and also our core. So what we don't want to be doing is this, or falling out or raising our shoulder girdle up. Exhaling up, inhaling down. Now everyone's going to have a different range of motion with this exercise. So only go as far as you can make sure that you're keeping a nice distance between your shoulders and your ears. We're going to take it a little bit deeper now, so I'll turn sideways so you can see. As I come up, I'm going to let my hands widen on the pole and come back just a little more through my shoulders. If you can do the same. Otherwise, continue with what you were doing before. So just gently increasing our range of motion through the shoulder girdle without compromising our posture. We can take it to the next level and all the way down if you're able. So I'm exhaling up, inhaling, exhale, and inhale down. And I'm allowing my hands to just naturally slide along this pole as I'm working it. We're going to add on now, rolling down, chin towards chest, ribcage towards hips, folding through the belly. Allow that spine to lengthen. Take that pole towards the floor. Bend the knees if you need to. Take a breath, exhale, unwind. Bring it up. And now we're going to come into an extension through the body. And bring it up and down. So now we're working flexion and extension through the spine. Ease it out nice and steady. Breathe it out. Let it extend and open, and then close it down. Ease it up. Let yourself extend. And bend. One more here. Big extension. Open that chest. And close it over. Our next exercise is a static side stretch. We're going to keep our feet together in a parallel position and the hands just relaxed on the pole in a vertical position here. I'm going to take a breath and then exhale over and hold on to that pole. Now try to pull this elbow back as much as you can. Some of you might not reach it, and it depends how tall the pole you're using is. We're going to hold that stretch. Now take some deep breaths here. Feel the rib cage expand and contract with each breath. One more. And release. outside leg around the back, and do this again. So there's a slight difference in the length-tension relationship through our muscles. And we're going to hold here for 4 breaths, inhaling and exhaling. Feeling that ribcage expand and contract. And release. We're going to repeat that now on the other side. Static stretch first, with the feet in parallel. Over you go. And be aware of where you feel this in your body as well. You might feel it a little bit deeper down into the hips. If you're really tight through the rib cage or through your lats, you may feel it there as well. If you're feeling a bit too compressed through the side, think of the lengthening up the body and lifting into the stretch as much as bending. Nice deep breaths, inhaling and exhaling, and release. Let's take it to the other variation. Outside leg goes around the back. Make sure your hands on the pole in a comfortable position. Take a breath in. Reach for that pole. Keep the elbow back. Lengthen the spine and lift up through the waistline while you're bending. Taking a nice deep breath in. Exhale. Feel the rib cage expand and contract with each breath. One more. And done. The next exercise is a wide squat, and we use the pole as a tool to measure our alignment. So from here, we're going to place the pole with a couple of fingers distance between the pubic bone and the sternum, but it should be the same distance. So if you've got 3 fingers between your pubic bone and 3 fingers between your sternum, we're going to try to maintain that throughout this exercise. My feet are out and my knees are going to follow the line of my feet. If you have any pelvic floor issues, you may like to narrow the stance or turn the feet facing forwards. This may not be a good exercise for you to do if it puts tension on your pelvic floor. From here, I'm going to think of lengthening my spine. I'm going to open my knees and slide down as much as I can. Then I'm going to squeeze my inner thighs and glutes and pelvic floor and bring myself up. Inhale, lower. Exhale, up. Now we don't really want to pull on the pole and we don't want to ride the pole like a pony. What we want to do is use it as a measure. So let me turn side and I'll show you what can occur while you're doing this exercise. So really we want this pole as upright as possible and the spine as long as possible with this variation. What can happen if you're tight through the hip flexors is that your bottom's going to stick back instead of coming straight down because your legs won't allow that to occur. Just 2 more here. Inhaling down, exhaling up, inhaling down, and here's a little challenge. Lift the heels. Let's hold it here for 8, 7, 6, keep breathing, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Heels down, bring those legs up and in, and you're done. Our next exercise is going to keep the chest open in a nice static stretch while we rotate through the thoracic spine and also work the legs. So let's take the pole up behind our shoulders. Now you don't want it on the bony part of your neck. You want to be able to relax it. So it's sitting on the arms and the arms feel quite relaxed. Now if you're quite tight across the chest, this is going to be a challenge or an exercise in itself. So feel free to modify wherever you need to. You may even find that you need to keep the pole here and cross it over through the front of your shoulders and arms. I'm going to take myself into a lunge position. I'm going to start with a straight leg lunge here and keep my spine long because my back is going to want to arch here. I want to keep it nice and straight. I'm going to exhale, I'm going to rotate, and I'm going to inhale, come back to the center. Now I'm rotating to the side of the leg that's forward, and inhale back to center. What this does is secures the hips in a nice stable position, allowing the thoracic spine to move. Let's change legs. Take the other leg back in a nice stable lunge. Feet are on train tracks, not a tightrope. Lengthen the spine, pull the abdominal wall in. Make sure that front knee is over the ankles and rotate. Inhale back to center, keeping those hips exactly where they are, allowing most of the mobility to come through your thoracic spine. One more. And bring it back. We're going to change it back to the first side. Now you can continue on doing the same variation or take it up a level. So we can take it into a squat as we go down from here. Inhale, exhale. 3, 4. And swap legs. Lift the heel. Make sure you feel nice and stable. Rotate to the side of the leg that's forward. 1, 2, 3, 4. And release. And down. We can utilize the same position for a dynamic side stretch. And when we do our dynamic side stretch, we want our feet underneath our sit bones, spine nice and long. When I take it down, I don't want to lift the pole off my shoulder. I want to keep them nice and connected so I can really tell what's happening through my spine itself. Exhale and inhale back to the center. Exhale side and back to the center. Side, center. Two more each side. See if you can get a little bit more depth each time. Use the in-breath to elongate that spine. And done. We're going to take it down to the floor now with some of our floor-based Pole-ates exercises. Take your breath to prepare. Exhale, roll down, chin towards chest, rib cage towards hips, folding through the belly, and walk out to a 4-point kneel position. We talked before about how the pole can be used as a measuring device, and we can use it like a spirit level in our 4-point kneel-based exercises as well. Just be careful when you pop it onto your back that you're not going to actually hit anything to the side of you or anybody around you. What I'm going to do is pop this now across the back of my hips and make sure that it's balanced. I'm in my 4-point kneel position now with my hands directly underneath my shoulders and my knees underneath my hips. My belly's pulled in, my shoulders are down, and my head is in alignment. I'm going to take a breath, and as I exhale, I'm going to slide one leg back and lengthen it behind me, and then I'm going to inhale and draw it back in. And then I'm going to go to the other side. Exhale. Take it out behind we stretch it back and then draw it in. Now this is going to give you a very good indication of what's happening through your hips and pelvis in terms of stability while you're performing this exercise. It's one of those exercises that looks really simple from the outside, but there's actually a lot going on. Breathing out as you extend each time. Inhaling as you bring it in. We're trying not to arch the back. We're keeping the core long and strong. We're working through the glutes and extending the legs. One more each side. And bringing it in. And the other side. And bringing it in. And to release, just take hold of that pole and bring it around. The pole can also be used as a tool for guiding focus through our roll-up exercise. From here, we're going to prepare by lifting up, having a nice stretch through the body and feeling that extension. We're going to bring the pole down and imagine we're putting it into some tracks either side of our body. As we roll down and scoop through the abdominal wall and lay each vertebra down on the ground, that pole is going to scan up our body. Take a breath. As you exhale, scan it down the body, come into the half curl, and then use it as a guide to push along those imaginary tracks until you get to your toes. Bring it back to neutral. Lift up, take it down into the tracks, roll. Breathing out as you come up, focusing on lifting one vertebra off at a time, reach down towards the toes, bring it in, lift up, neutral spine, take it down. The shoulders can stay quite relaxed with this. You don't have to hold any tension in your body, and the pole's not a heavy weight either. One more, lifting up to prepare, lengthening, take it down, curl through that lower abdominal wall and spine, allow it to sink one vertebra at a time. Do a little scan of the body, scan down, reach to the toes, and then come back to a seated position. We can also utilise the pole to increase the level of difficulty with that exercise by utilising the concept of a leverage. So I'm going to take the pole up across the front of my shoulders. And I'm going to cross my hands over just so it's secured. From here, we're going to do exactly the same thing, but you'll find there's a little bit more gravity or weight on the upper body now to make it more challenging for your core and abdominal muscles to work in sync to get you up and down. Rolling down one vertebra at a time. Take a breath. Exhale, curling up the spine, folding through the belly, scooping through the abdominal wall and up to a seated position. I always feel a little bit like a mummy coming out of a coffin here, or a sarcophagus. Take it down. Exhale. Two more. Scoop. Lay each vertebra down on the ground one at a time. Take a breath. Exhale. Scoop. One more. Excellent. But wait, there's more. Let's do another variation now in a partial C curve. I'm going to bend my knees for this one, thus increasing the level of difficulty in terms of leverage. From here, I'm going to come back to a partial C curve. From here, exhale, rotate, tap the pole, inhale, center. Exhale, rotate, inhale, back to center. Exhale, inhale. Doesn't have to be a huge movement, just a little tap. Keeping that abdominal wall in. Now, you can do this seated much more upright. If you feel it through your back at all, it means that it's doing too much work and your core is probably fatigued. I'm just going to do one more either side here. And done. We're going to play around a little with our teaser exercise now. Let's use the pole and the leg for some bicep curls to start off with. From here, we're going to pop the pole underneath the knee of one leg, take a reverse grip on the pole, lift the spine, lean back a little if you feel comfortable with it. And we're going to start utilizing our bicep curls first. Let the leg be a dead weight. It's going to be so tempting to let the leg come in by itself. One more. 4. Contract the muscles in the bicep. 3, 2, 1. Now hold static here. Nice and strong. Isometric tension now. Extensions. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and release. Let's try the other side. One leg under, one leg over. Reverse grip, shoulders down. Lean back, core in. Pull the leg in towards you using your arms. 2, breathe out each time. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Holding isometric tension through the biceps now, spine long. Exhale. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And we're done. We can also utilize the pole for hamstring stretches. With this one, a little element of caution is required because you don't want to actually draw the pole and pull it into your face accidentally while you're stretching. If you're quite tight, you might like to do the seated variation of this, and you can also have your legs still bent. So allow one leg to just come in, focus on one foot, make sure that the pole is sitting underneath, straighten it out as much as you can. Now my back is relaxed, my belly's folding, and the tension really is in the grip of my fingers. So if you can straighten your leg all the way out, feel free to do so. If not, keep it bent. If you're still getting a stretch, you're doing exactly what you need to do for the moment right now. And we're going to hold each stretch for about a minute, or say 4 to 6 nice slow breaths. If you prefer, and it's a little bit more challenging, in this position. Now, if you're a ballet dancer, gymnast, or a super flexy person, this is going to feel really nice and easy for you. If you're quite tight like I am, you're going to be getting a really deep stretch into the belly of the hamstring muscle and also where it inserts into your glutes. So you're going to hold it here. Try and relax through the other leg. Nice strong breath if you're doing this seated one. It's still the same principles. This gets you a little bit deeper because you've got this other leg out, providing a counterweight to the pelvic curl that you're getting. It allows a much deeper stretch into those hamstring muscles. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Now you can release this or you can use it to help you get up to a seated position. Now with all this work through the front part of our body, we need to make sure we open up and stretch it. So let's give it a little bit of a break. Coming over onto your belly with the hands beside the body. Modified swan dives for 4 here. Take a breath, exhale. Only as high as you feel comfortable. Inhale, lower. 2. Down. 3. And down. 1 more, 4. And take it down. If you're able to, grab your foot and draw into your bottom. If you need to use a loop, a strap, or a Pilates circle, feel free to do so. We're going to just hold this here for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1, and release to the other side. And holding for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1, and release. Coming back, pushing into child's pose, stretching out through those arms to start. Really reach those fingertips forward, feel the stretch right up underneath the armpits. 4 nice deep breaths here. Feel the heaviness of the tailbone. And ease yourself back to a kneeling position if that's comfortable. Otherwise, come to your side and get ready to rise back